Welcome to Log Furniture How To, the most all-inclusive site on the net for log and rustic furniture, fixtures, and decor. That's logfurnitureHowTo.com.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Juan Carpentry. Today, I'm not going to show you how to build something. Instead, I'm going to show you how to fix something. Now, I had this little issue come up. See, I built this 135-inch handrail for a customer in North Dakota. As you can see, I packaged it all nice and safe, and I got ready to ship it, and come to find out it won't fit on the delivery trucks. It will fit on a semi, but for $350, I don't think so. So, what I'm going to do is cut it in half. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to take a piece of steel pipe and use it to make a nice looking coupling for the hand railing, so I can ship it with half the length, and then the customer can put it together. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do today. Alright, so I want to try to find the middle, but at the same time I don't want to hit on a spot that's got a lot of curve to it. Let's just find out where the middle is first. It's right here. So right here's our center. Since we have this curve right here, I'm just going to bump it a little over right here, and we've got a nice straight section right here. So this is where I'm going to cut it, right down the middle. And I really hope this is going to work out, because there's no turning back after I pull this trigger. That was really, really painful. I really hope this works. Okay, so I've got my my cut end here, and what we're going to do is we're going to use a hole saw to make a tenon. Now the reason I'm not using the draw blade to make a tenon like I usually do is because I want a flat edge that the pipe is going to butt up against. I don't want a tapered edge, because I don't want you to run your hand along it and hit the edge of the pipe. It has to be a smooth, slick transition. So I'm going to make a nice square tenon with a nice square lip right here that the pipe will go up against, and then I'll probably just sand this down to match the same surface as the pipe. Now let me explain the bit real quick. This is a 2 7/8 inch bit, because my pipe is a 2 3/4 inch EMT. Now the 2 3/4 is the inside dimension. The hole saw 2 7/8 is the outside dimension. So I want to make sure that my inside dimension is 2.5, just like the pipe, because the blade is going to kind of simulate the pipe. It's going to basically carve the path for the pipe to fit onto the log. Okay? So I'm just going to try to center it as best as I can, and then when I make my cut, I want to cut it as straight as possible. So ideally, I want this to happen all the way around. So giving it a quick glance, there's a little bit at the bottom there that didn't get hit, there's a little at the top. So I really hope this is going to work. Let me show you. As you can see here, you can see just that the pipe is just a little bit bigger than the log, especially right there and around the bottom here. And that's not very smooth to the touch. I don't like that. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is get a smaller piece of pipe. I'm just going to get one size smaller, which means I'm going to need one size smaller drill bit, hole saw, and we're going to try to carve into this log a little bit more, because this just, I mean, it's almost perfect, almost. But so we're going to take a break from this project, and I'm going to go see if I can't hunt down a slightly smaller piece of pipe, and we'll try this again. Okay, we're back, and I have a slightly smaller pipe. Before I had a 2.5 inch, now I have a 2 inch, which means I also had to get a new drill bit, so I got 2 1/4 hole saw. So we'll see how this is going to work for us. So Come on in here and let's try this again. So there's a 5/8 difference between what we did before and what we have done now. But now I'm going to go ahead and cut away this excess. To do that, I'm going to use a Sawzall and I'm going to use a steel blade just so that I can get a nice fine slow cut. I don't want to cut too fast. Okay, so that's my tenon now. Obviously the log is a lot bigger than the pipe. Let's see how it fits. Oh yeah. That is a way more snug fit. Granted, it is going to take a little bit extra off the wood, but I think it's going to feel pretty nice when it's done. So now let's go ahead and do it to the other log. That looks pretty good. Great fit, once again. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer the wood down to the same as the pipe, so there's a nice smooth transition there. I'm going to use my sander with a 60 grit sandpaper. And actually, just to make this a little bit easier to work with, I'm going to go ahead and cut my pipe to length. So to do that, I'm going to measure this. So we got 1 5/8. I'll go 3.5 on the coupling. I'm going to mark it in a few different places just so I can make sure that I get a nice straight cut as much as possible. It's really hard to cut the pipe straight using a Sawzall, but I don't have a steel bandsaw, so I you know, got to do what you got to do. Now this is going to be my coupling, so it's got some rough edges from cutting it with the saw, so I need to grind it down a little bit and make it look nice. Safety first with the grinder, please. So as you can see, I'm wearing hearing protection and a little dusty face shield. That pipe is actually smaller than it was before, so that heat isn't going anywhere, so it's actually getting hot pretty fast, so I'm going to put some gloves on. Alright, got my glove. Alright, that's a pretty good looking coupling for now, so let's go back to the log. So as you can see, it's starting to take shape here. Looks like I can pop the pipe on there a little bit further. I don't want to hit it very hard because I don't want to damage the other end of it. There we go, that's all we needed. So now that I've got it there, I'm going to go ahead and throw some 120 on there, and we're going to finish sand it. And that feels great. That is excellent. Excellent. Alright, so we'll take off the coupling. It's a good tight fit for sure. Alright, so now let's do the other log. So now we'll repeat the same process with the 60 grid. Now, since I have the scratches on both ends, I want to get it in the middle too. So I'm going to go ahead and just sand the whole coupling there. And that'll give it a real consistent look. Okay, so now that I have both ends of my logs finished, as you can see, it's time to refinish this part that I sanded. I have to re-oil it, and I have to reapply the poly sheen to it. And then what I'm also going to do is spray paint the coupling. Now, I already got hardware for this, and the customer demanded black. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open all this hardware, and I'm going to paint it also the same color as this, so it all matches. But let's start with the logs. Let's just get them all finished up. Okay, I actually forgot to push the record button before I applied oil, but it didn't really miss much. All I did was paint on some oil. Now I'm just going to rub a little bit of it off. And I don't think we lost too much bark on this, and they feel really smooth. So I think this is going to turn out really well. So we're just going to give this for a minute to dry. So let's go outside and let's do some spray painting. Alright, so now the last step in the whole process is just spraying it again one more time with the polyurethane spray. And the reason I like the polyurethane is because there's no dripping. It goes on real slick and smooth. And it's not as messy. I don't have to wear gloves. I don't have to ruin a paintbrush. I don't have to worry about covering it. So it just works out really well. And actually you want to apply 2 coats. So one, and then you let it dry for a little bit, not very long, like a half hour. Then you apply the second coat. Alright, I think that's going to be good. So we'll just let that dry now. I'll do the second coat on my own, and then I'll bring you back to see the final product. Okay, so I think we're done. So I'm going to go ahead and put on the coupling, and we're just going to see how it looks. Yeah. So, not too bad, and I don't know, I guess I can rotate it to see how it's going to fit best, but I think that looks pretty cool. Be a nice, nice smooth transition there. I think it worked out pretty good, so we'll get this shipped off. Alright, well that's it for this video. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. My name is Scott Shaeffer. This is the Juan Carpentry channel. Please visit my website, juancarpentry.com. Also, logfurnitureHowTo.com is a great site for a lot of good resources. You can get me on Twitter, Facebook, I'm on eBay, I'm on Etsy.com, I'm on a few others. I'm out there. So hopefully you can find me. You did find me. I'm right here. So, all right. I'll see you on the next project.